So Sam asks, should I come out as bisexual? Hey, I'm a 13, nearly 14-year-old girl, and I know I'm bisexual. I've known this for a long while now. At the moment, I have a boyfriend, also one of my best guy friends, who I've been going out with for almost a year. I know I'm kind of young to be dating, but my mom knows, and she's okay with it because I'm responsible. Lots of people in my school and my friends already think I'm either bisexual or lesbian. I feel bad denying it every time. I hate having to hide this. I feel like I'm not being myself, but at the same time I'm terrified to come out. My mum isn't homophobic, so I'm sure she would be okay with it. Do you think it's a good idea for me to come out? If not, then when? How should I come out? Who should I come out to? Should I tell my girlfriends, my guy friends, my boyfriend, my parents? Okay, I'm sure you probably are bisexual if you kind of feel that you've known for a very, very long time, it seems. However, I don't think at this point it's a good idea for you to come out yet. I'm not saying that you should stay in the closet, I just don't think that you should come out yet. I think that you are very young, and I think at the moment you shouldn't really be worrying about this at this point. I just think you're too young to be worrying about this type of thing. Well, you see, when you're so young, your hormones are developing, and I'm not saying this is definitely going to be the case for you, but sometimes people perceive their sexuality to be something that it may not necessarily be. I know from experience I was very confused about my sexuality when I was younger. I waited until I was 19. You don't have to wait that long, but I waited until I was 19. I thought that I might be bisexual, and it turns out that I wasn't. It was just, you know, a state of, you know, the hormones developing until I know for sure what my sexuality is. Now, I'm not in the least saying that that is the same case for anyone who thinks they are bisexual. I would never suggest that. There are definitely people who are bisexual. I just think that you're too young to be announcing anything at this point. So my advice to you is to just don't worry about it. You're really young. You've got an awful lot of life to experience ahead of you, and just don't think about it. And then maybe when you're 16, if you still feel the same way, maybe then is the time for you to come out and to tell some close friends you trust and that you are bisexual. And if your parents are okay with this, and you didn't mention your dad, but you said your mum is okay with this, well then I'd say if you're really confident that your mum is not homophobic, I would tell her, just not now. I think that you're too young to be announcing anything like this at this point. So my advice is to just enjoy your life and not worry about it right now. One last point I'd like to make though, in terms of your friends asking you a lot of questions about your sexuality, that's really none of their business, and you really don't need to tell them anything you're not comfortable telling them. So my advice to you is basically tell them to leave you alone, mind their own business, and just be more respectful to you, because they have no right in asking that, and you don't have to. You're not obliged to tell them anything. It's personal, and it's really just none of their business. So I hope this advice was helpful to you, and the very best of luck.